Hey everybody, this is Unit 6, Formative 1, Day 1. We're going to be talking about domain and range. Okay, so when we talk about domain and range of a function or a relationship, we're simply referring to the x values and the y values, or in other words, the inputs and outputs. Okay, the domain is simply going to be your x values, or what you put into the function, so your inputs. Your range is just going to be your y values or your outputs. Okay? All right, so let's start with a set of points. Okay, so we have this set of points here, 2, 3, 3, 6, etc. And we just want to list our domain and range. So your domain, again, is your x values. So your x value between 2, 3 is just going to be a 2. Your x value between 3, 6 is a 3. Your x value between 2, 5 is going to be the 2, but we've already listed a 2 here, so we're not going to list it again. And then your x value between -6 and -6, 4 is the -6. So there would be your domain or your x values of that relationship. Okay? And again, we never list a value more than once. All right, your range, on the other hand, then, is your y value, so 3, 6, 5, and 4. Now we don't need the same number of x values and y values because sometimes they may be repeated, but that's okay. The other thing is these are called brackets. If you need to, just you can use a bracket like this instead if you need to, but I'll try and use the squiggly line ones. All right, the other way you'll see a relationship represented is with a mapping diagram. So that is what this looks like here. Basically, you're taking values in one bubble and you're seeing what you get in the other bubble. So if we kind of backtrack a little bit, if we think in terms of like a soda machine, okay, it's basically like, okay, if you push the Pepsi button, you're going to get Pepsi out. If you push the Mountain Dew button, you're going to get Mountain Dew out. Okay, so really all it's saying is if you put -3 into a function, okay, or into a relationship, you're going to get -2 out. If you put 4 in, you're going to get -2 out. If you put a 5 in, you're going to get a 0 out. Okay, so in other words, your inputs are still the domain, your outputs are still the range. So we're going to say domain is just the -3, the 4, and the 5, because that's what you put into the function. The range then is just your other bubble, so -2, 0. Okay, so really when you're given the mapping diagram, listing the domain and range is pretty easy. You just list the domain as the stuff that's in the left bubble, the range that's the stuff that's in the right-hand bubble. And this would be your answer right here. All right, when you're looking at a graph, what you want to do here, your domain, remember, is your x values. So what we're going to do is, this is your x-axis here. So we're going to figure out where every point would cross the x-axis if we draw a line straight through it. So this first dot here, okay, would cross the x-axis right here, which is at -2. So our first x value is -2. Okay, this point here would cross the x-axis at -1. So our second x value is -1, or our second domain value. These 2 points, this one and this one, both cross the x-axis in the same spot, which would be right here, and that is at 0. Then we have these 2 points cross it at the same spot, which is at +2. And then this last one will cross it at +3. So there would be your domain of that graph. Your range, then, we're going to do the same method, except now we're going to figure out where it crosses the y-axis every time. So if we start up here, it crosses at 4 first of all, so that's going to be our first value. Then it crosses at +2 right here. The next ones, we have 2 points that both cross at 1. We only need to list a 1 once, though. Then we have these ones cross at -1, and these are going to cross at -2. So we're going to go -1 and -2. And there is your domain and range of that graph. All right, the last type of problem here is we're given a function f of x equals 2x plus 1 and a domain of -2, 0, 1, and 4. So the domain again is your x values. So we're given the x values. We want to find the range or the y values. Well, f of x, this part right here, is just a fancy way of saying y. So really I have the equation y equals 2x plus 1. And I want to figure out what my x or my y values are, knowing my x values. So I have 2x plus 1. I'm going to basically solve that little equation for y. So I have 2 times -2 plus 1. I have 2 times 0 plus 1. And the -2, so this -2, this 0 are just coming from right up here. All right, that's all the stuff we're given. So 2 times 1 plus 1 and 2 times 4 plus 1. So you just have 4 little mini problems to solve. 2 times -2 is -4, plus 1 gives you -3. 2 times 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 gives you 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 gives you 3. 2 times 4 is 8, 8 plus 1 gives you 9. So your range then is just -3, 1, 3, and 9. And you're done with that one. So this would be your answer right here. All right, let's look at one more. So we have the equation 1/2 x plus 4. And we're going to plug in our domain values, which are right here. So we have 1/2 times -4 plus 4. We have 1/2 times 0 plus 4. We have 1/2 times 2 plus 4. And we have 1/2 times 9 plus 4. All right, well, 1/2 times -4 is the same as 1/2 times -4 over 1. So basically we have -4 over 2 plus 4, which gives you -2 plus 4, which is just +2. Okay, multiplying fractions, remember we multiply across the top and across the bottom. That's how I got the -4 over 2. And -4 divided by 2 is just -2. All right, this next one's a little bit easier because anything times 0 is 0. So really I just have 0 plus 4 for this one, so just 4. Okay, 1/2 times 2, or in other words 2 over 2 plus 4, because this is the same as 2 over 1. Which is just 1 plus 4, so we get 5 for that one. Okay, this one I end up with 9 over 2 plus 4. Okay, well 9 over 2 is equivalent to 4.5, so you have 4.5 plus 4, which gives you 9.5. So there is your range. You got all your values. So we're just going to start putting them into parentheses here. So 2, 4, 5, 9.5. And there would be your range. Okay, so essentially all we did here was we looked at different ways to represent a function. We looked at your inputs and outputs. Your inputs are always the x values. Your outputs are always the y values. The mapping diagrams and the graphs and the set of points was just different ways to represent your domain and range. All right, make sure you guys took notes, and we will see you guys later.